Hey guys, welcome to my house. Today we are going to be replacing this door. It's basically reached the end of its life, and so we're going to take this old wooden door out, put a new fiberglass door in, and probably modify the frame a little bit. I'm going to start by taking the trim off, take the door off, take the knobs, all the hardware, just get the old out of the way and see what I got to work with.
So I had a couple screws that did not want to get out. They were really stubborn. So what I did on 3 of these was I took a screwdriver and basically got all of the gunk out of the straight slot. And then I also used this screwdriver to beat down around the screw to kind of loosen up the tension on the screw. Then the screw could just twist right out. With the trim off, I can see what I've got to work with. Now, I could easily just put the new door right in here and it'll fit right inside. But I do not have a really good seal on the door, and the bottom threshold was pretty bad. So I want to reuse what came with the new door. But in order for me to do that, because I have such a deep door jamb, I'm going to actually have to cut into this a nice cut all the way around the door trim to down to this side. And then in the long run, when I put the new frame up to it, I'll be able to just seal up that cut and it'll actually look really good. I'll have the nice new threshold, I'll have a nice door seal, and then we'll contemplate what to do with the trim after that. Okay, so we got the door kind of temporarily in there. It's being held by a screw or two, but it turned out it fits perfectly right up in there. So when I go to put my trim on, it's going to look really well. However, down here, I couldn't get it to go all the way in, and I found out why. So with the new threshold, it sticks out. So I am going to have to notch out this board, something like that, so this will set in there and this will set flush and will work out perfectly fine. One other thing we had was up here at the top. The height's a little bit different. I don't know if you can really tell or not, but this is only here and it goes up about 3/8 of an inch, so I'll just round this over and fill it up with silicone when we're done, because this whole crease here will end up with silicone in the long run anyways. Okay, it took me a little while to get this thing all shimmed up and nice and level, because it's an old house back in the 50s. Everything's not perfectly level. So I had to do a lot of things that I didn't record just to try to get it so it would open and close properly. Now that it does, I'm going to go ahead and put the hardware back on it, give it one more final check, and then we'll add the trim that I took off, put that back on, paint it up, clean it up, and we should be good to go. We did take off these little pieces here. It didn't really appeal to us anymore. My wife went ahead and sanded it down too, and then we're going to give that a fresh coat of paint as well. Okay, I had a little bit of a problem. I went ahead and put all the hardware on, put this the lock on, and when I went to close it, it just did not fit. I had to really push on the door. The hinge is good, or the knob is good, but the lock wasn't. So I got to move over just ever so slightly, but of course I've got all 4 nasty holes. So here's a little trick if you got to fill that up to move over and re-drill a hole. Take a skewer, jam it in there. The bamboo is going to really help you a lot because it is stronger. And I'm just going to hammer it in like that screw was in, trying to fill up the whole void. Now you could just snap it and break it off, but I happen to have my chisel still here, so I'm going to just notch it a little bit there, go across the other side, notch it, and there it pops right off. So now, putting the cover back on here, this side, got this where I want it. I'm going to have to tap that back in again. The important part for this is not to just drill your screw in, because your screw is going to want to follow where that hole is. Make sure you use one of these spring-loaded automatic sets that allow you to get right in the center. And I'm going to start on the small one first. Go there and pre-drill a hole. Do the same thing with your bottom one. Now you got your new hole. You can screw in the screw. Now if you look really close at that, you can actually see the end of the skewer and where the screw hole ended up being, and I just barely clipped that and some of the new wood. So that's why it's important to use a really good piece of wood in there to hold that up, and then using that center drill bit keeps it focused right in the dead center of the hole. Okay, so the door is complete. We got it all in there. I've got all the trim back on. I filled up all of the nail holes with some wood filler and put a coat of paint on everything. So it looks really fantastic. We've just got to decide what color we want the door to actually be, but for now it's just going to stay white. So if this video helped you out, please guys give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, because on this channel I'm going to do a lot of home DIY type stuff. And if that kind of thing interests you, click on one of the videos that are showing next to me right now, and if you haven't, click that subscribe button. Thank you for watching this one. I'll see you next time right here in my workshop.